Welcome back YouTube, hope you are doing well. Welcome to my partially moved in new office. This week is going to be a bit of a shorter video. I kind of got a bit of a hint last week that a 27-minute upload is kind of not going to be watched. So, a bit of a shorter one for you. This week I am going to talk to you about kind of like the ups and downs of running a sports photography and videography business. I've kind of had a couple of weeks where one week I felt really demotivated. I had a couple of comments from a few people that kind of really threw me and just didn't really have any motivation to do anything. So, but then this week I've been really motivated, I've been really productive in my work, and I've had a couple of things come through where I'm ready to go for next week, where I might be bringing you from Slovakia for the Challenge World Championships. So hopefully I'll be able to bring you along on that. I have a media pass. Yeah, I've got a media pass. And so hopefully I'll be able to bring you backstage and everything around that. So let's get on into the video. Alright, so let's talk about the pros of running a photography and videography business, especially in the sports industry. And the main thing is having a massive passion for sport. And for me, this is a big one because I've been in the sports industry for 20 plus years. That was both as an athlete and as a swimming coach. Having then spent a couple years doing other things, I'm now full-time in the photography and videography business, and I absolutely love what I am doing. Working for brands, working for athletes, keeping fit myself, but just generally being in the sports industry is just a massive plus for me. And I am really, really enjoying what I'm doing. I can literally follow any sport. That could be tiddlywinks for all we know. But literally, I will pick up anything, sit in front of the TV or be at an event and just absolutely love it. So having a passion for sports is a big one. Another big plus for having a sports photography and videography business is the flexibility that it allows you to have in your life. This is probably the first time in my life, apart from probably university days, where my work-life balance is just amazing. Obviously, I have a young family. Well, you guys might not know, but I have a young family. And just being able to be at home most evenings and at most weekends, apart from events where they are happening at the weekend, is just so good. Whilst my little one is so young, and just being at home, seeing her grow, seeing her develop is just a massive plus. And again, this is probably the first time in my life where I've been able to do that. So yeah, having a good amount of flexibility, not just in your work-life balance, but also having the flexibility of being able to kind of run your own business and take it in the direction that you want it to go in. So flexibility is a massive plus point. So the third positive thing about running your own business is that it allows you to have your own creative expression. And what do I mean by that? So as you might have seen on my Instagram account, you might not have, but I will link it down here somewhere. If you go and check that out, you'll see that there's points in my journey as a photographer where I am trying new things, I'm trying new styles, and basically just trying to adapt and evolve my photography style and my photography career as I progress through. So you'll see on there's blurred photos that I've done in post edit, there's actual panning photos which I need more work at definitely, but then there's also like photos where I try and frame it against different backgrounds or foregrounds, and there's also pictures where I try reflection shots as well. So just being able to express your creativity or your creative side is just a massive plus, I think, for me, and I get a massive buzz from that as well, especially when you get some feedback and it's all positive. So just being able to express your creative side, and if you are someone that loves that kind of aspect of life, then this could be the industry for you. Speaking of young children, my little one's got a new bed this week and she's already fallen out of it twice tonight. So whilst filming this, it's a bit frustrating. So oh, bear with me. Anyway, the next positive thing about having your own business is networking opportunities. Some of the people that I've been able to work with so far is it's just crazy. To think I'm only one year into doing it full time, and there's some of the brands and some of the athletes that I've been working with is just like mind-boggling. I did not think I'd be at this point so early. So there's some really top-end athletes that I've been working with. There's been some brands that I've been working with as well, and there's a couple of brands later this month as well, which I'm super excited to work for. So hopefully I might be able to do some behind the scenes stuff, and you'll see that on my Instagram account. But super excited for where my journey is going and the people who I've been meeting. So it's so good, and I just massive buzz for me, that's for sure. And of course, I think the last pro I need to mention is just being able to own your own business. Not many people can actually say that. So many people are just working for someone else. So working for myself is it's just something that I've not done before, but something that I am really enjoying. But it does come with some of its downsides, really, and you really need to be on top of what you are doing every single minute of the day, which for some people can actually be a negative, and I might talk about some of those aspects in a minute, so make sure you stick around. But yeah, being able to own your own business, again, having that flexibility, etc., is just a massive positive thing, and I'm just really enjoying it. And I think that's, after being in business for only a year, just being able to embrace that and just to think that, I should be really grateful actually for the opportunity that I've been given, especially by my wife, to be able to just give this a go. And that is just a massive thing. And, I will always remember that and try and give this opportunity the best that I can. So, let's move on to some of the negatives, some of the cons of owning your own business. So the first thing on this point is that the sports photography and videography industry is super competitive. I did not really realise this until I really ventured into it, but to break into any kind of sport or anything is just super hard, especially at the top end level. One of my ultimate goals is to try and get on a world tour, so something like the Tour de France or Giro d'Italia, something like that, or even getting to Hawaii on the Ironman World Championships is just something that will take a few years for me, I think. And just because it is so competitive, there's so many photographers and videographers at that top end, that it will take some time. And I think you just need to realise that and just keep going. But it is so competitive, and for me also, it's hard not to try and compare yourself to someone else. And so, you've got Instagram, you've got TikTok, you've got Twitter. There's so many places where you can see other people's work, and it is just so hard to see what they are doing and think that's where you should be, and why am I not at that point already? So don't beat yourself up about it. It is a competitive market, and just keep going. That's one of the cons. I think the next thing as well is that some sports that you kind of go into have a very seasonal demand. So something like I've been doing recently is American football in Britain, and that kind of only runs like from say like March to August. So the season is very short. So if you're just relying on that one sport, you then got to think about other things to do in the rest of the year, or think about how you can make some money in the rest of that year. One of the sports that I am into at the moment is cycling, and there's so many disciplines in cycling that actually make the sport run all year round. And so just try and, maybe if you're just into road cycling, try and get yourself to different disciplines within cycling, and just try and get that that year filled up, really. So yeah, some sports, if you are sticking to one sport, they are very seasonal. So another con, I think, within the industry is the technical challenges. And what I mean by that is just the equipment that you need. So I originally, and I still am, a photographer, but so many more people are wanting to hire me for my videography skills as well. So I had all the photography equipment that I needed, but then I also now need to invest in videography equipment. There are some things in photography that I need to kind of build myself up, and that is mainly by having a big old prime lens, something like a 400mm, something like that, will just do me so well in some of those field sports that I'm starting to go into and up my skills with. So just having a big old prime lens is just something that I really need to get. And also, I think with videography, there's so many different things that you need to think about. There's lighting, there's audio, there's tripods, gimbals, everything like that, which are not cheap. So just the technical challenges around equipment, etc., is just so vast. So if you're thinking about getting into this industry, you really need to think about what you have and what is necessary to get next, if that makes sense, if you are going to invest in something. So one of the things that I think can affect more people than others is the physical demands that you kind of need within the industry, whether that is because of weather or the duration of the events that you are working with, but just being able to have a good level of fitness and kind of mental preparation can really, really affect some people more than others. So for example, like the Tour de France can be 3 weeks long, some events can be a couple of hours long, but just being able to make sure that you are capable of producing work that is needed to the highest quality as well, especially on an event that takes 3 weeks, you are going to need to be in a great condition to be able to last, really. So just bear that in mind, especially when you're getting into this industry, and especially with the mind as well. Like, there's so much going on, and I'm going to talk about it in the next point. But just being able to stay mentally focused as well is going to be able to get you the best content that you can as well. Okay, so the last kind of disadvantage, I suppose, and one thing that kind of does get to me quite a bit is just the amount of admin tasks that you are required to do when you own your own business and you've got no one else working for you. So there's things like marketing that you need to think about doing. I definitely don't do enough of that. And so I know that it is a limitation to how much my business can progress. But just thinking about marketing is a big one. On top of that, with marketing is your website and SEO, which is search engine optimization. Being hot on that as well with your website, blogs, etc. like that is a massive one in terms of being able to be searched for online. And also things like accounts as well, and keeping on top of emails. You've got a file for your taxes at the end of each year, etc. So there's just so many things to think about, as well as posting your content, keeping up with client work, keeping up with, again, emails, phone calls that you need to return. There's just so much going on, and I think when people get into doing this full time, I think some people might think it's quite easy and it beats being in a 9-to-5 job. But actually, you're going from a 9-to-5 job to probably doing a job that is sometimes requires you to do it 24/7. It's just the harsh reality of it. And I think that was probably what was getting me down a couple of weeks ago, is that not only there was a few comments, etc., that came my way, but just the fact that I was probably wearing myself down, so and probably overthinking a lot of things. So there's a lot to think about with running a business on your own, and a lot to do as well. So in general, it is a great thing to be in, but there is a lot to do and run yourself. So I hope that video helps you guys understand what it is like to run your own sports videography and photography business. Overall, it is an amazing business to be in. It's an amazing industry to be in. It is following something that I am very, very passionate about. And actually, the next video I'm going to bring to you guys to kind of bring a bit of credibility to who I am and what I am doing is to talk about my passion for sports photography and why I am specifically in this industry. So having a big passion for sport is a big one for me, but in general, you need to have a lot of resilience, adaptability, and just the ability just to hang on in there. It will take time to grow your business, so just stick with it. But until the next video, I will see you in the next one.